I'm Sharon Chung. Today on BizTech Conversations, I will be speaking to JingJin Liu, the CEO and co-founder of ZaZaZu, a Singaporean sexual wellness e-commerce startup. JingJin will share on how women who have the confidence to express and communicate their sexual needs will obtain greater success in a male-dominated career and eventually be leaders to change the world. Welcome to the show, JingJin.
Thank you so much, Sharon, for having me here. I'm really honored to be having an interview today with you.
Before you started ZaZaZu, you were an experienced marketing strategist, driving portfolio turnarounds ranging from 80 to 800 million US dollars. Could you briefly share your corporate background?
Sure. So I'm originally from China. I decided to move to Germany when I was 16. And because I was always fascinated with technology, automotive, so everything that China at that time does not bear. So at that time, I studied industrial engineering in Germany and then joined a very male-dominated industry, which is mobility, so automotive, rail automation, so everything around mobility. And at that segment, at that time, there was only 15% of women studied engineering in Germany. And I think I was very fortunate to be one of the very few who dared to study such a hard subject in university. I think I was always someone that loved challenges as such. And then, of course, I was always fascinated with hardware technology. And Germany was by far the most advanced in terms of technology, whether it's automotive, mobility, and all the hardware. I was always fascinated with plane, train, auto, cars, and stuff like that. So I studied there and then entered automotive space. Firstly, rail automation in Siemens, and then moved to automotive ultimately. And so it was. I always wanted to. I think I was always a little bit different than other Asian women, as well as in the sense of I was always very loud. I was always very bold, and I always challenge somehow. I do not hold back what I have in mind. And when I was in China at that time, this was not perceived as a value for good girls. And women supposed to be girls, supposed to be quiet, to be humble, and to be the nice ones. And I was not, which gave me a great advantage, I think, in the Western culture, especially in the corporate world, surrounded by, I would say, middle-aged men around their 40s. And they see someone from Asia have the technology background, learn the technology background in Germany, and still is bold enough and to challenge everything else we have. And compared to other Asian colleagues they have, I was just very different, which gave me a great leverage on, I would say, climbing the corporate ladder.
ZaZaZu was founded in April this year. Could you share with us how did the concept come about?
So for starting a company, when I was in the corporation, I always had this, as I mentioned before, when I was in China, I think this goes back a little bit into my childhood. When I was a young girl and I had very low confidence, as because my parents was not around, I was brought up by my grandparents, but they didn't take that much care of myself. They were very busy with themselves, and I did not have someone holding my back in a way. And then again, I was not perceived. I was very loud. I was not quiet. I had dark skin. So I was everything that Asian somehow, or finger pointing, this is not a good girl. So in a way, I had very low confidence. And then I moved to Germany, studied, and then really ultimately climbed up the corporate career. And I still realized that it's not only me. Many, many women I experienced in my corporate career, they are as beautiful as you can imagine. They are as smart as you can imagine. They have way more degree than my male colleagues. Still, deep inside, there is always this voice telling them, whether it's imposter syndrome, whether it is insecurity, whether they do not look good after pregnancy, there's this deep insecurity inside of them that society has not overcome yet. and they have not overcome it. So it has been always a calling for me that I wanted to build my business one day, how to tackle this segment, how to help women, empower women to build confidence. But I didn't want to build another career platform, tell women to do power poses, and these are all things that tackle only on the outside. So I want to do something that tackle the inside, and what is the most innate desire you have, and this leads actually to sexuality. And sexuality, this is something that I had many discussions and with some of my gay friends, some of my female friends, and are saying, okay, what I discovered at that time is if someone is really conform, very secure inside, what do these people have in common? They are deep insecure because they are secure in who they are. And sexuality as an angle somehow design actually who you are. And then because this is I had a discussion with the CEO of one of the biggest bank in Singapore, and she says at the end of the day, if you are deep secure in your sexuality, if you can imagine, if you can ask pleasure in the bedroom, then you can ask salary raise, you can ask you can pursue a male-dominated career. You can study something that only boys study. You can do everything at the end of the day. So this is something that through many researches, through many talks with female leaders, with venture builders, so female around all kind of career level, I realized, okay, this is actually a space. If you want to build the confidence from within, sexuality is a great angle, and nobody's doing that currently. I just think that there are many factors at the end of the day. How, for example, how society have brought us up, educational factor, how did you perceive your mother, your grandmother, how is your female friends around you, and then what education level you have, what are the achievements you have, what are your looks, and so on. But I always have thought these, for example, education or degrees. I mean, women, and meanwhile, I'm talking about big cities in Asia, of course. Now, women are better educated than men. Meanwhile, there are more female graduates from master degree than men, more doctoral than men. So, on paper, there is no, I would say, no. They say I'm not confident because I don't have a proper education. This part is not sorted out. What are the other angles? So, achievement in society. Women are doing CEO level now in Singapore, in Asia, in China. It's not even a surprise. Western world is actually lagging on that part. But still, although we are living in a world that women can do whatever they want and they are empowered to do whatever they want as well. But still, if you talk with women, deep inside, I am very strong in raising my voice for female entrepreneurship. If you follow me in LinkedIn, I shared a post yesterday as I am a entrepreneur in residence in INSEAD, helping the MBA and EMBA students if they have started a venture, how to help them move from theory to a practical venture, and then if they are in the middle of the journey, how to solve some of the problems. I shared a story about I have 3 male students and 1 female student. All these 3 male students are telling me, market size 40 billion. And do you have an MVP? Not yet. What is the proof of concept? I had talked to some of my MBA friends. What is your revenue? 0. But do you think when do you think you can reach 100 million? Within 2 years. Confidence level, I would say I am the next unicorn. All 3 male students in 3 very different ventures. Then I have this girl coming in and said, I admire you so much. Firstly, she said a lot of things about me and did not start to talk about herself. And then she said, I have very small business and I made a presentation for you. So she came well prepared to this session. Because she made my expectations so low, she said, I have a very, very small business. She guided me through the deck. Turns out she has built a e-commerce platform for a product that has 8,000 customers, making 200,000 euro revenue, and is profitable already. And she's a mom with 3 kids, and this is a part-time job. This story actually blew me away in a way. But then if you look at her confidence level, I was like, when do you think you can reach 100 million? I asked the same question all of my sessions. She said, oh my God, this is like far away. And if you just observe, if you summarize the whole session with her, she's extremely well prepared. The venture is already flying. And she has started this venture 8 months, part-time, as a mom with three kids in Paris, where they have no help. And then compared to the three guys, where they have nothing but believe they will all build a venture unicorn. So I shared the story in LinkedIn, and this post I shared just yesterday has exploded now in the venture space, because the likelihood of these three guys to get funding is still higher than this lady to get funding. Why? Because they present themselves so confidently, although they had nothing. Whereas this lady has something so solid, but still came to the session so humble, almost ashamed that she's taking up my time. This is how culture has brought us up. I mean, all four people are Westerner. I'm not even talking about, if I start with the Asian women, this is even going to be worse in terms of confidence. So ultimately, we have achieved a lot, and we are able to do whatever we want to do. Still, you see the confidence level is just low. So therefore, I say, of course, sexuality is just one of the angles. But I think this is an angle attacking, let's say, targeting within, whereas all the other angles are just the outside shield. So if you are confident innate, then you can be confident outside as well. This is the angle that I decided to follow up with.
How many do you have on your team? Can you share a little bit of their background?
We are still quite small. So we have me and my co-founder, we have a marketing lead, and we have a virtual assistant team. At this stage, as you know, we have raised our Precede round in two months ago.
From your website, I saw that you have a panel of experts. For example, Dr. Angela Tan, by training, is a clinical physician in palliative care. How do you collaborate with them?
So basically, we have an expert panel. We haven't featured all of them yet, as we are rebuilding our page. Currently, we have, for example, Dr. Angela Tan. So we are working with intimacy coaches, sexologists, hypnotherapists, and ergonomists. So everything that can help women to remove their self-limiting beliefs, help them to reconnect with themselves or reconnect with the partner. And then sometimes there are just small questions that people, for example, we have girls asking us, is it normal that I don't have a hymen? Things like that. Sometimes you do not need a solid consultation. We basically built an expert panel that cover everything around sexuality and intimacy and couple, so that any kind of question are coming to us, we have someone to answer it, as well as if someone really needs to have a more solid consultation, and we can proudly direct him or her to someone that we know who have the expertise and whose expertise is proven as well. As you know, I would say sex check as such, this space is not regulated nowhere in the world. So many people can claim they are sexologists. They can claim they are intimacy coaches. There is no solid authority that regulates what kind of study do you have to undergo. Therefore, we do a very solid study and understand, okay, who has the medical background, who can really help women, who can really help couple actually to move to their next level.
Could you share a little bit more on ZaZaZu's business model?
The business model we have currently, we aim to be we are a discrete e-commerce ecosystem. With the term is really about ecosystem, to guide women to explore, experiment, and enhance our sexual and intimacy journey through three major revenue pillar. One is sexual education, sexual consultation as the couple therapy, as I mentioned, as well as curation of products based on your individual needs. So currently, if you go to sexual education, this is the part that we are still building at the background. Is exactly, we have podcasts with, for example, Dr. Angela Tan. We have podcasts with some sexologists, we have we started this campaign a while ago. saying, okay, what are the most frequently asked questions? So people reaching out to us and saying, I was always curious to know about this and this. We actually started some podcasts and then with the authorities and then post on our page. As well as education panel, we are building a curriculum towards to school, towards to organizations. Because, for example, we are in Singapore. The education curriculum in school is very poor, in the sense of it's rather a biology class. Then they are telling you, okay, this is how a penis look like, this is how a vagina look like, and then the baby pop out. If I would summarize very bluntly. So actually, there is no part about telling actually the next generation how this works, because parents and the authority are so scared. If they know, they will do it earlier, which is actually not true. So we are really then as we are still in this space, Asia is still conservative. We actually want to be the extended arm, extended authority of the government, and say, okay, let us build a curriculum with the authority we get from our panel and build a class, whether it's for primary school, for different curriculums, for different ages, for different classes, and then let them to understand how actually sexual health means, how sexual wellness means from early age. This is something that we are building, and then of course you can imagine as sex is still a stigmatized space, the government we are still working on that. This is the sexual education part. And then we come to the sexual consultation part. Very often sometimes you have small issues, and then it's too much to go to a consultation. It's just the step is too big. Sometimes you have a big issue, then you don't know where to go. So we aim to be the safe space where you have panelists, and then you can just once you become our member, we are still building the membership system. Currently, it's just if you look at the curriculum of our expert, you can just type in, okay, this is what I would like to know, and then the expert will answer you on that. Currently, it's for free, as we are still building the platform. And then at the last part is the curation of products based on individual needs. We have designed a sexual implantation test with our expert panel. It's 24 questions, really to holistically understand your sexual behavior, sexual persona, and then, for example, and even to drive some conclusion. For example, how you behave at job could impact how you behave in the bedroom. So how you behave in the bedroom could draw actually a conclusion how you behave in the boardroom. So we link this, how you actually behave in the real world and how you behave in the bedroom. So we make a link to that and really to help women to find the right product, how to enhance, how to get different kind of sensations, how to enhance their sexual journey. Basically, these are sexual enhancement products. Once you undergo this quiz, and then you will get a persona of who you are, and then you can choose whether to pursue our products or not.
The sexual wellness market globally is expected to grow at an annual growth rate at over 8% during 2019 to 2025. Can you elaborate more on this?
Sexual wellness as such is a $40 billion industry worldwide. And if I say sexual wellness, I'm only talking about product-wise. For example, I'm not accounting the sexual therapy, I'm not accounting couples therapy. So just sex toy as such is already a $40 billion industry. In Asia, APAC, excluding China and India, is an $8 billion industry, and it's growing year by year, 27%. As Asian culture has been more open now, and the people are more explorative, and brands like us are contributing basically to the space as well.
Besides education and consultancy services, how do you compete with sites selling similar products? There is vast competition in this market with broader product range. So what is your differentiator?
Our differentiator is that we do not sell product as such, in the sense of, I think the page you are mentioning, for example, just let me name you one of the biggest e-commerce platform for sex toy in Singapore. It's called horny.sg. Every woman, if you encounter this page, just the name will already drive them away, firstly. And secondly, if you enter this page, it's a pure e-commerce platform. They basically list 10 to 15,000 different kind of products. And then, if you want to buy a sex toy, definitely, if you already know what you want to buy, you go in, you buy it, you you will get nowhere cheaper. The mission of ZaZaZu is that we think sexual wellness, every woman is as unique as a fingerprint. Your preferences and pet peeves are very different than mine. Therefore, we designed this sexual implantation test. So if once you go through the test, we will understand who you are. We make recommendation as a product set. So we do not sell products standalone as a vibrator, as enhancement, because we believe that sexual wellness need to be a spa experience. In the sense of, for example, if you want to have a massage, you can go to the uncle in the hawker center. He will massage your feet for $20 really well. But you can also go to a spa spirit as a spa, or you can go to Capella here in Singapore to a really spa experience where you get the same service. However, it's when the moment where you enter in, they got some cold shower, you have the great scent, and it's really about the experience. The service is the same. It costs you, of course, 10 times more, but after that, the spa experience will feel revitalized in a way. And this is what we believe in ZaZaZu as well. So we always sell a product set, a lifestyle set, in the sense of we have most of the time 4 elements inside a ZaZaZu experience box. We are still trying to find a more attractive main name: intimacy kits, fantasy boxes, basically a product set, which include 4 elements: a stimulant, something that gets you into the mood, for example, like a candle, like some essential oils. This is all based on your personal results, no? And then secondly, you get something accessories. For example, many couples and many people want to enhance their intimacy journey with their partners. Then we get some accessories. For example, for Halloween, we get some masks, we get some pumpkin-shaped kind of candles and accessories, basically to get into the mood. And then we have the main sexual enhancement as a toy, something else as well. And then at the end, we have something that's relaxant, massage oils, massage stones, could be some chocolate, for example, if you're a sweet mouth. So it's really a holistic experience, starting with the moment when you enter the bedroom and then when you exit the bedroom. It should be a spa experience. It's just never a single product sales.
Basically, who is your target audience?
The interesting part is we have 2 kinds. People who are extremely interested in the content. We see in our statistics, people who read our content and who ask questions. These are women rather below their 30s. And then people who are buyers, though, that, who do not dangling around too much. They just make the purchase very fast and do their test, make the purchase, or as a gift, or a husband giving it as a wife. It's around 35 to 45. And the guess basically is, of course, a product set is a different price tag. So, for example, our product range from $200, roughly $200 to $300. This is the average range. Depends on which spa experience you basically choose. And this is simply a little bit too beyond of the younger audience. What we try to do with the younger audience, so these are our advocates. They are sharing among this generation, I mean the millennials, even the zillennials. I do not even know how to name them now, these generations. They are bold, they like to, we have customers that they bought something from us and they share, they make an unboxing experience. These are all girls below 30. The barrier is about 50. 50 below, we still see that, women, and especially affluent women who have already reached a certain career stage, they know who they are, and they just say, okay, you know what, many of them don't even have a partner, or they are too busy to engage with their partner. They live in different cities, and these are our customers. We say, great, why shouldn't I just, embrace myself and celebrate who I am, and by pleasuring myself, for example. And then they are less price sensitive, way less price sensitive. But we actually want to create a space where this product is accessible to every woman in daily life. This has been our vision, is really to normalize sexual wellness for every woman in daily life. Could be our mom's generation, definitely our daughter's generation, that we do not have to Google or to find thousands of pages of contents that are not relevant or are dirty or that does not appeal to us. So, but then to answer the question more specifically, the buying audience are between 30 to 35, and the more engaging awareness audience are below 30.
How much did you raise in your pre-seed funding round recently, and who are your investors?
We raised around not around, exactly 135,000 USD. This is roughly 10% of our equity. So we are valuated of roughly 1.5 million USD now as a company. And at this round, we had at that time, when we built this company, the construct as such, we had the option rather to go through a VC round, a venture capitalist round, a angel round, or a friends and family round. We ultimately decided not to go to the VC route, as we actually wanted to we believe in the big vision we will become, the company that normalizes sexual wellness for women in Asia. And we say, we actually want to give the opportunity to our friends and family, and half of the opportunity to professional angels who can give us access to extended, to open another market in Vietnam, for example, or hotel collaborations, so on and so forth. So half of our investors, we have exactly 11 investors with one venture capitalist inside as well. And half of them are friends, and the other half are professional angels running, for example, corporate woman from Monisha from Google, for example, has a private fund with her husband and been supporting as angel investment. We have Neil Bearden, a master storyteller and professor at INSEAD. He's a professional angel investor, one of the very first investor in Redmart at that time. We have George Rowe is for example, a SVP, senior director for operation for Marina Bay Sands, which will open actually the door for us in hospitality industry as well as potential B2B partners. Yeah, so we have 11 investors basically, and half of them are friends and half of them are professionals.
JingJin, you as an experienced entrepreneur, could you share some key lessons for new startups?
Many. New startup, I think I don't want to make any generalized things, but I really, through my own experiences, I think that there are 3 points. Always stay true to yourself and understand what truly drives you. Many of startup so my co-founder and we met during an incubator, and many startup there, so many companies that are built there, people are aiming the big. If you ask them why they build a company, it's because they want to build a unicorn company, because they want to build something for the sake of building something. And I think this is valid for the startup boom in this area, because people somehow have this illusion that building unicorns just like that. And you read in the magazine. This is also partially driven by the media. You read this all the time. Someone raised 3 million. Someone raised 10 million. Someone. I mean, look at the facts. The big unicorn in our society, Uber, WeWork, Airbnb, hasn't made a single penny yet. No? Minus 71 million profits. No? Minus. So I don't know whether this is something we really aspire to do. So if you build something for the sake of building something, when time is hard, you will have to drop. Then you will be lured to the wrong VC. You will make wrong decisions because this is not value driven. So stay true to yourself and really understand what truly drives you and why you build this company. And then in really hard time, especially for example during COVID, if you firmly believe what you are building, investor will come because they believe in you, because you believe in the company again, and then your capability of driving. I think this is the key, one of the most important. There are hard times, for example, in sexual wellness space, this is a space that we cannot properly advertise through the major medias, in Facebook, in Instagram. We are rejected by Singapore government funds. We are rejected by media agencies, so on and so forth. If you don't believe what you are driving, or you can just give up. There are some days I think, okay, you can just drop it. But then next day, I wake up, I think about why I'm building ZaZaZu, and then you pick another fight. And then you will find a way to manage. For example, we build a campaign and saying that, these are the companies that say these are media. We are aiming to normalize sexual wellness for women, something that we do not have access to, something is so normal. But look at all these companies that who do not want to work with us, who are actually, who politely reject on us. What are the difficulties there? This campaign actually drove us a lot of attention, and people start to fight for us, for example. So media agencies are coming to us and saying, let us be your PR agency, let us be your partner. Some even on pro bono base. For example, MediaCom, a company that work for us with us on pro bono base. So because all of them believe that we as founders, we are true to ourselves, and the vision of ZaZaZu is the vision behind JingJin and Cassandra as well. I think this is one of the most important lessons. And then I think the second one, especially when I am an entrepreneur in residence, as I said before, and then people are reaching out. Really, I share a lot of things in LinkedIn, and people read my blogs, read my posts actually quite avidly. And one thing that I can definitely share as well, once you build a company, you understand who are your real friends and who are not as well. Very often it's like, I have entrepreneur coming to my session and saying, I think this idea is great because my friends, they all love it. And then if I talk to my mom, this sounds so easy. Now, of course, you shouldn't listen to your mom, shouldn't listen to your friends. But this is a confirmation bias. At the end of the day, we are human. We all love people confirm us in a way. However, people are not true to themselves in a way that it's easier to say, oh, it's such a great venture, just do it. And then I always say, you know what, ask them, okay, I'll do it tomorrow. Would you be my investor? 99% will say no, because at the end of the day, they don't believe in you. So this is, as a building a venture, is also a great exercise to find who are true to you, and then who are your real friends. And I was very fortunate that my friends are. They all put their money in. I actually have to reject many of them just to have a good ratio of strategic investors and friends and families as well. And maybe the last point, that whatever you read on theory, so Cassandra and I, we went through this incubator program. I went through 18 months a executive MBA journey through INSEAD, and really to build everything just to focus on entrepreneurship, how to build a venture more successfully. At the end of the day, it's all in the practice. Everything what you learn in theory, you think you understood it, you and nothing beats practice. So there is a saying in Chinese, right, saying that 读万卷书不如走万里路, right? So it's really about getting things into practice. If you think you understand it, if you haven't proved it in practice, it's simply not. It wouldn't work.
JingJin, what are your plans moving forward?
ZaZaZu. So I think what I'm saying that before, that we want to build a ZaZaZu really to normalize sexual wellness for women. This is not simply something we're just saying it. This is something that I truly believe in. We want to build actually a world for ZaZaZu, in ZaZaZu, where, sex for women is it's like having food with friends in a boutique-sized restaurant. You enjoy it, we embrace it, and do it often. And we really want to create this safe space where we always say their sex is healthy, pleasure is positive, and education gap are sealed. This is the plan we have for ZaZaZu. If you ask for the more operational plans and the next several steps, we are all extending actually our offerings on the curation of products, and then really to build. Currently, we are just 6 months old. We are really need to build our website more security, and then more reflective on who I am. Very often people come to our page and saying, if I listen to your pitch, I get so excited, I get so energized. But then I go to your page, I see here are some bugs, and here the feel is not that right, and I'm sometimes concerned what I'm buying. So all these kind of things. So we are really incorporating all kind of feedback we can get, and really to optimize. So for this year, for us, the plan is really to optimize, to match the real ZaZaZu, what I'm saying, with the real ZaZaZu, what you can see in the web, really to bridge the gap, I would say.
JingJin, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks a lot, Ken, for the great interview. And yeah, I hope that I get you excited about ZaZaZu as well. And yeah, thank you for featuring us, because I read something that I want to say from my side as well. It has been in the sexual wellness space. This is like we have 100 people who love us and 100 people who hate us. This is a very binary space. So thank you for having the courage as Miss Asia, also to featuring us, to interviewing us, and this is something that we are very appreciative. And any kind of extension we have, to get not only on female entrepreneur, but also just to normalize sexual wellness for women. This is something that is such a fundamental health pillar for human being, and there's a fundamental right for human beings as well. And then let us not let men somehow dominate this space, and let women shine as well. So thank you so much for interviewing me and interviewing ZaZaZu as well.
We were speaking to JingJin Liu, CEO and co-founder of ZaZaZu. For more business and technology conversations, go to www.biztech.asia.